Hello, I'm back with another video, and October has yet to end. So, I thought, last time I did a last episode of Creepypasta, so I thought the next natural thing would be a gaming one. Now, I know how this show operates. I'm flying fast and loose with the rules here. Are they good stories? Are they bad stories? I don't fucking know. I didn't have a plan when I started this. I'm not gonna have a plan going future. Because, probably I don't think I'll be able to get more than 2 or 3. But anyway. What better game series to start with than with Pokemon? Because there's 80 million, billion, trillion Pokemon creepypastas, and they're all the same thing. I'm gonna cook one up right now. It's called Pokemon Haunted Emerald. Okay. I was always a great fan of Pokemon as a kid, and my favorite my favorite title back in the day was Pokemon Emerald. And I always thought one of the coolest Pokemon was Rayquaza. With the release of Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire coming up, I thought it would be a good time to revisit my classic childhood game. Unfortunately, I had lost a copy I had many years ago, so I decided to head down to my local game store to see if I could track down a copy. I asked the man at the clerk if he had any copies of Pokemon Emerald. He said, "You're in a GameStop in 2016, dipshit. Why are you trying to expect a Game Boy Advance game?" And I said, "You guys got one though?" He said, yeah, I actually have this one in bags we received a few weeks ago from an unknown person." It's like, I don't accept trading for this game. He just threw it at me and walked away. I said, fuck, I will keep it. I was like, "Give me the game." I said, "No, it looks cursed." I said, "I don't care. I wish to play the game I owned as a child." He said, "Well, very well, take it, but destroy it, or else something terrible will happen to you." I said, "Okay." And I went home giddy with a cat. This is not Game Boy Advance SP Blue Edition. I said, yes, I could get home and play my favorite game. Logged in within my game. I looked at the cartridge, and it was a weird tear on it, where Quasa would have been. I said, "Oh, that's odd." But I said, "Oh, man, I wish it was in condition." Anyways, I had turned the game on, and it was pretty normal. There was a save file already on it, so I said, "Oh, I'll check out what this player has had." I looked at his party. I looked at the save and his party, and he'd already conquered all the gym badges. And he was ready to face the Elite Four. But he almost completed Pokédex. I looked at his party. They were all quite odd. They're all a little disfigured, glitchy. I noticed there was a slight pattern of rain hitting the ground. I said, "But I'm in the Cinnabar aisle now." I said, "But there shouldn't be rain here." But I noticed before the rain hit the ground, it evaporated. I said, "This isn't right. The weather seems to be a lot of balance." Suddenly I hear a loud roar from the distance. It sounded like a Rayquaza, but an eagle. I realized that the 3 legendary beasts must have been left for many eons. Decided to move out of the forest to chase the noise. But when I reached the town, I saw something truly terrifying. Town had undergone massive destruction. People lay in the streets. Pokemon lay restless. I walked through the town. I saw Wally, and he was just lying there, only a rope. I said, "But he said, "Jim, you have to stop them. They've become too reckless." And I shuddered. How did Wally know my name? I decided I had to do what I had to do. And I walked up to the Cave of Origins. I don't know anything about Pokemon Emerald. Well, I know Rayquaza can be found fucking Mount Everest. Anyway, I headed to the top of Mount Everest and found Rayquaza. And he too wasn't correct like the Pokemon kids seen before. There was a skeletal frame, and I was so frightened by this freaky looking Rayquaza, I turned the game off and looked at the back of the cartridge. I realized the same tear in the cartridge was on Rayquaza in the game. But that doesn't make any sense! So anyway, I decided I had to I turned the game back on. And as I turned the game back on, a Rayquaza went to battle. But this was no ordinary Rayquaza. It had a name. The same name as my Rayquaza from when I was a child. It was only then that I put the pieces together. I threw up my party members, and I realized it was my same team from back in the day. And I realized my mother cleaned the attic out 4 weeks ago. She must have sold the game to the GameStop. And this was my old save file as a kid. And I had done this to this world. I had plunged them into darkness by leaving them alone to pursue the dreams I had. I decided I had to finish what I started. I needed to defeat the Rayquaza. Fortunately, he was level 90, and all of mine was simple. My team was very powerful, but fortunately, Rayquaza was strong. Is this the writing process for Creepypasta writers? They're just like, ah, shit. I've just been typing this as I go along. What the fuck do I say next? I got this. This just gonna be over in a jiffy. I still need the palm there. Well, I had one final Pokemon. A little 90 Electrode. I started for the good of the world. This Electrode. Wrapped it. Wait, I forgot a detail on. But I noticed Rayquaza wasn't fainting the Pokemon like he normally would. They were dying. And the party status has changed to mangled, freaky versions. Ravished by the Rayquaza. I knew. I had decided this Voltorb was going to make the sacrifice to save the Pokemon world. I used self-destruct, and the screen fluttered and shook, and the Game Boy blew up. I was gonna say the skeleton popped out. That's too stupid. The cartridge was destroyed. Actually, no. We're gonna revise the ending. Anyways, I used self-destruct electric, and the screen started shaking. The Rayquaza screamed in anguish. So play character. The Game Boy started to violently convulse. It cracks were forming on the screen before it jolted out of my hands and combusted. The cartridge was destroyed. Rayquaza was dead. I lay to rest knowing I had saved all of it, but I would never be the same again. Yeah, anyways. I just gone from 9 minutes. I invented my own story. Anyways, here's the thing I was actually gonna read. So, alas, stick by, read Drought. Maybe I'll split them into videos. I don't know. There's some Pokemon fans you can tell at a glance. I'm not talking about someone who has enough knowledge of metagame strategies to win even battle, or can tell you about the exact stats or move pool of any of the 600 odd mobs. I'm referring to those who grew up along with the Pokemon saga. Can I tell them the story is? Because it's like 800 the assholes now. So, if I can tell when the fuck this is written, you know, I could tell this guy's a dipshit. Anyways, for people like us, played games from all generations for years, it's easy to tell original Pokemon cartridges when you see them. And so I did. It was a fresh Friday of autumn, the kind of days you could still go around in a t-shirt and shorts. You can already see the chill. My brother and I both owned a copy of Pokemon Platinum. Even though it's interesting in the game, I started to play with my cartridge. As a Pokemon lover, not that I minded, as a Pokemon lover who's almost seasoned as I am, I never took idiotic things like overwriting my save file, releasing my team, or breaking my winning streak in Battle Frontier. However, all of this meant we had a copy of Platinum to plenty. I was hoping to trade it in at some video game shop. I was just on my way there when I stumbled upon my group of kids playing with various Nintendo boxes. Brand new DS's mostly, but also a couple of old GBAs that were surprisingly in good condition. Interested, I took a peek at one of them and saw that he was playing Pokemon Emerald. I quickly struck up a conversation. His name was Frank, and it was obvious that he was totally into Pokemon. He showed me his DS and Pokemon games collection. We chatted about Pokemon and other games, had some battles, made a couple trades, and then I noticed time was going by so fast, so I noticed the sun was just about to set. It was too late to make it downtown before the shops closed. Since it was the weekend, I'd have to wait 3 days before they opened. What kind of shop is this? Weekend start, wait 3 day old open. What kind of dickhead operates like that? Without thinking, I complained about it to myself. He must have heard me, because he said, actually, I'm missing Platinum version. Would you like to barter? I didn't know what he had to offer, but I heard sometimes you can find all kinds of rare stuff on Oblivious Kids, rare trading cards, save files, promotional Pokemon. I considered the offer. He showed me a cartridge that made my heart skip. The sticker was stained and partially peeled off. The cartridge's translucent red color, what little of it I can make out, left no doubt. It was original, honest-to-God Ruby cartridge. I examined it closely. The Nintendo logo, seal of quality, and everything else in order. If not for that ruined sticker, I could have said it in mint condition. Particularly interested in me because I had never played it. When it came out, I was too impatient to wait till it was available in stores, so I had played it on an Emerald. What? How's the game out? How can you emulate the game but it's not out yet? What the fuck? By the time I could buy it, I had already finished it. Didn't feel like playing it. Again, I bought Sapphire instead, just the juice of playing a different game from one I never played. Is this the point of Pokemon, people? Because they're 90% the same game. Yeah, whatever. I know they're different, but yeah, fucking cares. But I digress. We quickly sealed the deal. I came back home with my new possession. I left it in my room and went to have dinner. Then went back to my room, and I found the cartridge. I found a crudely crayon-drawn Groudon on the front, and the words Ruby built version had clumsily been filled in with marker. My brother was just at his computer, playing dumb, with the crayon and marker still on the desk in front of him, not too smart. That son of a bitch, he defiled my Pokemon! But my revenge, his active face, would have to wait. I booted it up. Yeah. Predictably enough, it had a save game. It was named, unsurprisingly, Franco. It had 7 badges and 80 or so hours played. I selected badges and the dude played the game for 80 hours? That's like 3 days! How do you play Pokemon for 3 days worth of game time and not beat it? They're not hard! I've played Ruby before! It's not difficult. I did it on the 10. I selected the game and was treated to a completely white screen. Blinded me for a second or so. Nothing else happened. I turned it off and back on and selected a new game. The introductory screen with Professor Birch went out as smooth and normal as it could be. Must have been some glitch or so, I thought to myself. Played the save file again. I thought I could see something. Outlines of sprites, maybe a tree or two beyond the white screen. I couldn't focus on them much because my eyes were hurt if I stared at it for more than a few moments. I opened up the menu, and the team screen opened as usual. I looked at his team, nothing special. Swallow, Blaziken, Leona, and Sharpedo, all in their 40s to 50s. Perhaps thinking the white was a glitchy fog. I tried moving around to see if I ended up in a different area. Nothing. Opening that with the backlight, I would have a better chance of seeing everything. I took the cartridge out and put it in my Game Boy Advance SP, Blue Edition. Also, the DS has a backlight, right? This doesn't look at Game Boy. Original Nintendo DS has backlight, right? Like, yeah. Huh? What the fuck? The original DS has the backlight. Why are you switching to Game Boy Advance SP? It doesn't matter. The story doesn't make any sense now. Dumbass. Sure enough, it was easier to see. Yeah, I don't know. Who cares? The screen was still bright. At least I could make out my surroundings. I was just outside of Little, taken by a nostalgic feeling. I decided to visit the town, even though you don't have many reasons to do so. Perhaps the side effects of the bright screen. Everything looked a little off. The green color of the grass and trees was slightly tinted to yellow, even though the main character was bright. And everything else seemed fine. A palette error, or such. I'm starting to regret buying a game in such bad condition. Like what? It's a Game Boy game. The fuck did he do? Cartridge tilt it? No. It's obviously got ghouls. Come on, guy. No game has errors. That's just not possible. QA exists, moron. Only ghosts make game glitches happen. If you see you think your game acting a fool, that's how you know a ghoul's in, and you gotta return it. Which is sure to have its fair of glitches and problems. The end label was torn. You said the cartridge looked like it was mint condition otherwise. What dickhead wrote this? But it was still playable, so I went on. Yeah. Man covered in white fog. Still work. The music was a bit slower than I remember, and slightly off pitch. The character's movement was also slow and chunky, as if it was a PC game lacking for memory overload. It didn't trouble me too much. I knew I could expect all kinds of weird stuff from that old game. I don't think a game, specifically designed for console overload with memory. So if we're taking that as an excuse, they should be full of shit. The NPCs that were walking around were slower, and when they talked to, sometimes they caught the conversation short after a sentence or two. I went up to my room, found it full of decorations. Little rugs, a table, a chair, and dolls. He'd obviously taken quite a lot of time furnishing. Guessing I'd pick off where he left from, I had Swallow use Fly to get to Pseudopolis and get that last medal. The Pseudopolis area was grayed out. Franco must have quit the game just after busting Team Magma's hideout. He must have been pretty young when he played the game. Probably didn't even know how to reach it. I checked his Sharpedo, and sure enough, it didn't know die, even though he had the HM. I was pretty surprised to see that his team was now at half HP, except for Blaziken, who was at full health. I shrugged and assumed I was too distracted to notice before. Sure, okay. As I didn't take the longer ahead, I headed to Oldale. First, I immediately entered the Pokemon Center, and the scene there was the oddest thing by far, so far. There was a line of NPCs in front of the nurse's counter. For a few seconds, first one on the line. I entered the building, and others were joining the queue. That was weird, and the whole emulated playthrough grew. I'd never seen such a thing. Franco probably found out some sort of secret event regarding a promo Pokemon that would trigger us. Both excited. Even after all these years, there's something in a Pokemon game I had never seen. I still needed to heal my Pokemon. I had no choice. Join the queue and go along with them. I mean, buy potions. Okay. Anyways. When I finally reached the counter, I'd even pressed A or anything. The nurse didn't say her usual welcome line, but just turns towards the Pokemon machine, placed 4 Pokeballs in it, and healed them. So giving them back, she simply said next, and I automatically moved to left and down, out of the way. I tried talking to the other NPCs in the queue. Well, the elevator to the second floor wouldn't work. I checked the PC and looked at his boxes. As expected, all his Pokeballs from the team he had on himself. You're pretty much at the same level at which he caught him. How the fuck do you know? What struck me as odd is he'd even have a full team. Perhaps he was challenging himself. I went to the Pokemon. There was a queue there too, although shorter than the one in the center. The goods selection wasn't the usual though. They were only selling Pokeballs and Burn Heal. The weirdest thing though was Burn Heal was incredibly expensive. 150 yen each. Why is this dickhead in America? I mean, who's America? Don't wanna listen, Francos aren't real outside of America. Everyone knows this mythic identity. He's probably a black-eyed child. Don't know why I talked to him. Damn, I thought. Someone tampered with this cartridge. Perhaps a game shark. As I went north and then east, I noticed the color palette was acting funny. Whereas normally there was green, there was this thick greenish yellow, water with dimmer color. As I surfed through it, I was attacked. Quite predictably, I was attacked by wild Pokemon, mostly winged. What happened with the first battle caught me by surprise. The enemy Pokemon started out the battle with only about half HP, something I never thought possible. Then as I repeated, I noticed its HP wasn't at max, but certainly less. I couldn't think of any reason, even if he somehow had activated the so-called acid rain punch, which caused continuous damage. I didn't even ran up into any battle up there. They easily viewed it with crunch. Well, I don't want to spoil the story, but there should be certain music that's playing that he should definitely notice. Blowing metals, I noticed that even though I beat the wild Pokemon with one move without giving them a chance to attack, Sharpedo's health kept decreasing with every battle. I checked his team several times between battles. Tried giving them healing items and berries, but their health kept slowly going down anyway. Even Blaziken, whom I thought immune to that mysterious health savage effect, was receiving damage, only at a much slower pace. Such an old game. It sure had its share of oddities. You realize at that pace, I'd have to bring a lot of potions with me to stop any Pokemon. I had the chance to visit. That bothered me. I decided I'd leave the save file eventually. Nothing was worth going on such an unplayable save. But first, I wanted to get to the bottom of that. Casually by one of the soft soil spots. Fuck you, Discord. Those where you can plant berries. And there was a row of plants. Their sprites weren't moving and were in the bottom. Oh my god, it's the repeater! It's the imitator from Plants vs. Zombies. How'd he get into Pokemon? Scariest story ever developed. As I approached them and examined them, they disappeared. And the text said, the Chesto berry crumbled to dust appeared. Examined the soil again, said, the soil was too dry to plant anything. There's definitely something big going on. And apparently I was getting close to the source. I decided to get this over with and go straight to battle Wallace. I flew to Lily Cove and suddenly realized what was going on. The eerie four-note melody and the periodic flashes of scream were those of when Groudons let loose by Team Magma. When that had happened, I'd gone straight to the Cattle Cape Origins battle and had no idea it could affect the rest of the world. Okay, I've only ever seen this in a Mega Ruby, but we'll watch a video of it at some point. Doesn't the game take you to the Cave of Origins to do it? Yeah, he knows fucking music, dickhead. How do you not recognize spooky Groudon song, which is playing right now, by the way? I had gone straight to the Cave of Origins to battle it, and I had no idea it could affect the rest of the world. So that just raised further questions after the second game. Groudon was supposed to break loose after encountering it in the C4 cave. How did Franco get there without dying? Or perhaps Groudon's drought started threatening the world before ever meeting it. Did it have to do with the game being left in such a state for such a long time? From the game's point of view, the protagonist had seen the evil team depart on their way to awaken legendary Pokemon. Instead of chasing after them, he did nothing, cowering away from his destiny, never resuming his voyage as a Pokemon trainer. Was I witnessing the results of such a negligence? I decided to find out. I quickly opened the menu and taught the HM to Sharpedo, just as I was selecting it. I had to start. Swallow had fainted. Even without a message or warning, it had lost all of its HP. Frustrated, I went to the Pokemon Center. The queue was much longer than the one in Oregon, so much that it started outside the building. It took me the good part of 15 minutes to have my team fixed. I went to the shop to buy some revives and potions just in case. I know the queue, the price. Outrageous Pokeball battle items are at normal price, but healing items cost 5 times as much as I remember. With little more than 500,000 yen to no valuables to sell, I was only able to force 2 revives and a handful of potions. I started swooping down Route 24. No trainers in sight. Even though I hadn't used no repels, I only met 2 wild Tentapool on a rather long trip. Both of them only had about 1/4 their HP when the battle started. The screen was getting brighter, flashes more frequently. My brother peeked at my screen, curious. "You going to fight Groudon?" he asked. I replied with a distracted, "Uh-huh." Couldn't take my eyes off the game. I used dive and entered the cave. The scene there shocked me. Groudon was using his hypnosis magic to make me play the cursed game. Now, instead, what happened was there was no water. Instead of the water, there was an empty basin with some lava pools here and there. Runs of both teams lying on the ground, along with sprites of Puccianos. Neither moved or gave response when talked to. I got to the bottom of the cave, and Archie and Max were there. Groudon wasn't. I approached Archie, and a cutscene started. I slowly walked over the lava pool where Groudon was supposed to be. He turned around and said very slowly, "You were right. You should have stopped this. Now it's too late." And then he jumped into a pool of lava and disappeared. Then, dude just fucking died. Groudon's cry, very slight as if it were heard from a distance, could be heard. My brother was as dumbstruck as I was. Max was lying down at the front of the cave. No answer on him either. No other ideas on where to go. I headed to the cave of origin, hoping about Groudon. As I approached Studiopolis, I saw more and more sideways trainers and trikes, as if they were floating corpses. They were losing even more and more time as they went on. The only wild Pokemon I encountered started the battle with just a sliver of HP. Okay, sorry, 6 sliver. And in burn status, even before I set on my Pokemon, it took damage from the burn and was defeated. No victory theme, the screen just went back onto the map. Opening my menu, I saw that 3 of my Pokemon were low on HP in the burn status. Even Blaziken, although not burned, had taken quite a bit of damage. I dove to the surface inside the crater. Studiopolis didn't look anything how I remembered it. Lava was pouring from the edges, pooling near the bottom. There was no sign of life. Charred buildings and fire blocked all the ways, but a very narrow path leading to the cave. As soon as I was in front of it, a wall crumbled, and a stream of lava covered the path I had been just a few seconds before. I was trapped. Interestingly enough, I found two NPCs, wallets lying on the ground. Wally. I was genuinely surprised to see Wally there, until it hit me that to get to Victory Room 40, he logically had to get all the badges, so he had no reason not to be there. I spoke to Wallace, and I was there. When I tried to speak with Wallace, he told me in a message that it even slower than the speed of marching. Everyone tried and failed. It is just the two of us. Please help me. The screen shook and a tile of lava appeared and flowed after us. Wally hobbled down the stairs. I healed my team the best I could with my meager supplies and followed him. I found him in front of the ground. The room was littered with charred trainer and Pokemon prints. Among them were some people when they see the word among. Among them were familiar sprites. I recognized Watson and May on top of the pile. And Norman was laying face down in the middle of the room. No, not my big anime babe. I walked up to the ground, and the battle started. It was me and a Wally against it. Bullshit! My brother cried before me. This game is a fake. There are no team-up battles before Emerald. I was about to say, dumbass, this is Emerald, but I realized it was Ruby. I ignored him and went on. Groudon is at full health and level 90. You know, the story I made fun of for was a piss take of Pokemon creepypastas. It was too accurate. I managed to exactly predict the level 90 big spooky Pokemon. Anyways, the message Groudon's trap made the sun shine brightly appeared as soon as the battle started. My sprite and Wally flashed as they were Pokemon taking damage. I felt something hot trickling down my fingers. I checked the back of the console. The crayon on the cartridge had melted. The cartridge itself had gotten almost too hot to touch, and the faint smell of burnt paper came from what was left of the sticker. We just couldn't find any logical reason for that. What, you mean the overheating Pokemon cartridge? Like leaking hot magma? Anyways, curiosity got the better of me. I started the battle. I sent out Sharpedo, Wally opened level 40 in Magneton. It made sense. It was close to the level 1 he has when encountered in Victory Road. It was severely weakened like the wild Pokemon I had met. Groudon used Earthquake, leaving Sharpedo with little HP and knocking out Magneton in one hit. Sharpedo used Surf, but in spite of it being super effective, it only took out a small chunk of health. The battle was extremely one-sided. It swept to my team easily. Those Wabi Swap blew Delcatty and Gardevoir, even outnumbering it 2-1. The difference in level and weakened state of our teams were too much of a disadvantage. As soon as Gardevoir had fallen, Wally's sprite took its place. The same happened to me as soon as Swellow got knocked out. There was no HP bars or anything. There was nothing to do. Groudon automatically got the next turn. He used Flamethrower on Wally, fucking charring his corpse and burning him to bits. He turned into a giant skeleton and went, yeah, fuck you, Groudon. Nah, that didn't happen. Instead, it just made him think. I braced for whatever was about to come, but nothing could prepare me for what happened after. The screen flashed orange-red tint, so bright I cried in pain as The screen flashed orange-red tint, so bright I cried in pain as I instinctively closed my eyes. At the same time, I felt a searing pain in my right hand, forcing me to drop the console. hit the ground and the cartridge popped right out. The plastic around the cartridge slot had partially melted. Then Groudon came out of the screen in real life and stabbed me to death with a knife. Nah. I love making no bullshit. The cartridge itself was completely unharmed. My head felt heavy. I fell back on my bed and cracked my skull open and bled out on the carpet. Also, I lost consciousness. When we woke up the morning after, my brother was dizzy and complained of a headache. I had gotten the worst of it. I had a blistering burn at my right hand, something like a nasty sunburn on my face. No one else would have been called crazy for telling him Groudon and flame broiled my face. I told my friends I had an accident while cooking a barbecue. It took 2 weeks for me to heal completely. Some days after, I decided to turn the game that affected me into real life back on because, yeah, great option. First of all, I deleted that damn save file. I sure felt relieved when I saw the only option was new game. That only lasted until I selected it. There was no introduction, no speech from the professor, no prompt to name my character. The screen went directly into the initial scene in Little, with a van outside of the front of the house, but there's no one, no characters, no NPCs. I couldn't open the menu. Tried to move around, just moved the camera. While I'm trying to leave the town on any side, I'd see a white border, on the other side of which was a featureless gray land. Eventually, the map started zooming out. Somehow, the town got smaller and smaller. Eventually, I could see that it was not the actual litter, but a quota left in the middle of a patch of scorched ground. Then more things started to enter the field of view. A broken Pokeball, charred wood, rusty metal, stains of dried mud, what I initially thought to be black and yellowish pillows, but I soon found out they were charred bones from a skeleton partly buried in the ash. I couldn't see bear to see that anymore. I tore the cartridge out of the console. I tossed the cartridge in my closet, hoping to never see it again. I'm still friends with Frank, and I never mentioned the game at all to him. Neither he did to me. He was oblivious to the fact that his ignorance and negligence doomed the world, albeit a virtual one. A couple months later, I looked in the closet for that cartridge again, but couldn't find it. Perhaps Mother had misplaced it while sorting through my clothes. Maybe I'll never see it again. Perhaps that's for the best. You know, imagine, what if there's alt universe, different story, where some big kid trades with some asshole for Haunchikarp via platinum. Story from Franco perspective. Ooh, very scary. Anyways, that's it for this video. I'm looking, Audacity right now is going on for like 39 minutes, so be hyped for this Halloween special. I read you extra spooky Pokemon video. I'm gonna leave the Asher now. You guys better watch this whole damn video, or Groudon's gonna come into your house in real life and burn it to the core, and nobody will even know. Scary, right? Alright, everybody. Happy Halloween, dickhead. I'm gonna go play FNAF.